That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome, welcome. We are here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world.
You like my pseudo Fat Albert there?
Was that what that was?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Hey.
Well, that was closer. Yeah, I hear it now. I like that we're going to time this one with the sunbeam again going right into your face.
Well, let's do something about that. We'll be right back. Tell them the rules.
The rules. Yeah, I can do that. In the meantime, we have 3 rules here in the bubble for the sake of civility. And those 3 rules are no judgment, nothing personal, and don't be a dick. And the 4th rule is...
Don't drop a fucking fork on you.
Yeah. Don't fork yourself.
Go fork yourself.
Perfect. And now we won't be blinded, or at least one of us.
I fully expect you to leave all of this in.
Of course I will. Cause it's Monday
How
right
are you?
now. I'm alright. I have a headache.
You shouldn't.
I'm so sorry.
It's Monday.
It is Monday. Yeah. It is Monday. How are you?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I had a full day at work, and I had to go get my car fixed, and they didn't fix
They
my
didn't
car.
fix
Nope.
it.
But I got some reading done.
Well, that's good.
I got 2 volumes done.
2 whole volumes?
2 whole volumes.
While
in the
you were waiting
in
there?
the hour and a half I was there, yeah.
That's pretty good. That's
Look
pretty
at me.
good.
Go me.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Go Carol.
Go Carol. Are you enjoying yourself?
It's a part of the story arc that I'm not all, that into. Like, I was more into the previous volumes. I'm anxious to see if, like, it veers away from the anime and then back into, like, some, whatever that they didn't adapt.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
My book is coming tomorrow. I've actually forgot about it.
The listeners have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well,
but,
you're reading Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'm reading the manga.
Yeah, the manga, right? And now, have you never read? You owned one of them.
So I originally bought volume 6, and then I bought 2 sets of 3. I bought what did I buy? I bought one of the teens and then one of the 20s.
Yeah.
With the intention of reading them. And I think I read through 6 and finished it. And then I started to read one of the other ones, knowing that it was completely out of order, and then just pause because I hate to read. And then for some reason, somewhere along the way when we were reading books to each other, I was like, you know what? I've watched the show. I've played the game. I've immersed myself in the whole totality of the intellectual property. I am going to start from the beginning, where it all started, the story, the manga. And the funny thing is that in the manga, it doesn't coincide with the show until like volume. I know the game is introduced in volume 2, but like they don't really match the show until 5 or 6, either 5 or 6, or maybe even later than that.
So is it just
actually
all
no,
exposition
it's
beforehand?
after 6 because I remember 6 is when they go to the amusement park and there's bombs all around the Ferris wheel, and that was never in the show, so it has to be after volume 6.
Well, yeah, you can't put bombs in a kid's
Oh, there's
show.
so much stuff in the book that you would never see on American television. It's unbelievable. There's tits, there's profanity, there's occult symbols, there's,
guns.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you're enjoying it.
Having nothing to do with this episode.
I've wanted to read a lot of things, but I'm like, well, if I'm going to read it, I obviously should read the whole thing, and I should start from the beginning and everything like that. So, like, even books that I've already read, I'm like, if I want to read others, it's like, I have to read all of them.
So I was, for the sake of living in the past, I was going to intentionally go to the bookstore at the mall, the comic book shop, the collectible comic book, whatever. And we're not a sponsor. And I was going to buy one series at a time, and just every time I finish one, go buy a new one. And then I realized they have no intention of restocking these books, or replenishing the ones that they don't currently have. So I was like, are you guys ever going to when we sell more of them, we'll get more in. So I ordered volumes 1 through 6, because they come in sets of 3. Got them cheap off eBay. Somebody was selling them. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's going to be so much easier for me to just order what I'm missing from Amazon. And so I used Amazon for what it was intended for. I bought all the rest of the volumes from Amazon Bookstore.
I was determined to only buy the Sailor Moon manga like one at a time. Like I would read one, and then when I was done with that, I would go get the next one and everything. But then I realized how fast I was reading them, and I got really angry that the other ones weren't here.
Were you even taking the time to like inspect the artwork?
Of
like,
course I was.
Yeah, I find it hard to do that because for one, I'm in the middle of a part of it where I've already seen it on television, so the artwork is already familiar to me. So I'm really just reading the dialogue at this point. There are certain pages where I'm like, I got to sit there and I got to look at all the detail because I'm just like, this is fucking really, really intricately done. And, you know, this guy did this all with a dip pen.
She wrote the book 7 times with a dip pen. And you're telling me you can't even read it once?
Leo's Toy Store.
Is this what you want to talk about?
Not at all.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, now I kind of want to talk about, you know, this manga some more because I'm enjoying reading this one. No, again, I'm mirroring what the show is, you know, has portrayed, but you know, what did I want to talk about?
What did you want to talk about?
I did want to ask because it's been a minute since you've been like, I have to get home to do work for the next convention or the next show that we're doing. It's been a minute. Like, you've been working, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is
that what you wanted to do? Put me on the spot?
So, okay. So, the next thing we're getting ready for is Blood and Ink in October.
It's not Blood and Ink.
New York Ink.
No. Westchester Tattoo Con.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It used to be Blood and Ink.
And before that, it was the Westchester Tattoo Con.
Right. Okay. But for the purposes of this conversation, we'll just say Blood and Ink.
We'll say the Westchester Tattoo Con.
Whatever. But I remember so many times, no matter what day, you're just like, I'm going to be working all day, or I have to get home as soon as we're done doing this thing because I have to get to work.
Yeah.
And I feel like, first of all, it hasn't been apparent to me that you've been stressing about the work. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
So, okay, so you haven't been stressing about the work.
I've been doing it.
Okay, because I'm used to you stressing out about, you know, meeting deadlines and getting stuff done by certain dates.
Yeah.
Plus having to complete the stuff that Darren... I haven't heard about you talk about Darren in a while.
I've mounted commissions.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also haven't actually officially announced on like the Love Hard socials that we're not going to be in Nashville.
Okay, but
so he may still think we're going to be there. But you know, I mean, he's interacted with the pictures that I was posting of the work that I was doing.
Okay, so he has not commissioned anything
not recently, no, which is fine.
Yeah. Tell him to come to Westchester.
But no, well, I'm sure he'll be there. He said he's been there countless times and everything. But like, I was talking to my shrink about this, is that it's very off-putting to me that I'm not stressed out about the work.
It's unusual.
Like, the amount of work that I have done and the amount of work that I will be getting done for this, I'm not worried about it.
Good.
It's weird.
Well, because, you know, once we still had Nashville on the books, I mean, you were stressing out about it from the time you booked it because it's just like, we're going to be so far away and we're worried about the animals and are we going to have enough stuff?
The whole thing was stressful.
Yeah.
The whole thing was stressful.
And because we're so familiar with the Westchester process, you know, the whole endeavor, it's like, this is a walk in the park.
No, what I've been doing, my prep for it lately is I've taken a pause on the painting and I've gone into the drawings that I want to do for it. So I've been doing my reference work and stuff like that and everything. I haven't been doing a lot of sitting down and just cranking it out because I want to be prepared to do that.
Because I go to the office, I come home, we sit, we have breakfast, and then, you know, I come home at 4:30 and everybody's here waiting to greet me, ready to, you know, have dinner. And it's just like... And there's usually no talk amongst us throughout the day about what you're working on or who's commissioning you for something. No. Other than the people who've been buying our videos, which, thanks for your money, guys.
We appreciate it.
I'm just clearing my throat, literally.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ums in the last minute and a half. I was thinking this episode would just be a check-in. Just be like, hey, where we're at, how we doing, what's going on. Everybody needs, not necessarily the mental health well-being, because my mind went back and forth today about so many times about what we should talk about. Should we do a mental health? Should we talk about this? Should we talk about that? Should we go all over the place? Should we stick to one thing? You know, knowing us, we probably could tackle 4 or 5 different things in the span of an hour.
Yeah.
We're good at that.
Yeah.
Like today I ran out of my usual podcast and I listened to this Finn Balor interview, and what? He's just talking about his career and stuff and this and that and the other thing. It's very, very interesting listen for me. I mean, I like when people talk as themselves and not the character they portray on TV.
Which is what an interview is supposed to be.
Yeah, I like learning about people.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting things that he brought, one of the universally interesting things he brought up was talking about COVID-era wrestling. Not necessarily COVID-era wrestling, as a whole, but like it got me thinking about the COVID years again. Because we're so far removed from it now. Like you've said a couple of times over the last few weeks, they're like, COVID was so long ago. Like, stop talking about it. Not me, but like other people.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things now. Like,
he was talking about the difference between having like feeding off of a crowd, like your way of performing for a crowd, feeding off of a crowd, reacting to a crowd, or them reacting to you, versus the COVID years where they had nobody in the arena. They were literally doing it just for the cameras or the people watching on TV, and how different it was and how they had to adjust, everything.
I mean, that's nothing new. That's literally the difference between performing on stage and being in a movie.
Right, but the reason I'm saying this is because it got me thinking about those years. And again, how we're so far removed from that time of our lives. Like, it in my mind, it's like it never happened.
6 years doesn't sound like a lot.
No.
It doesn't. That's not a lot of years.
No.
But to think of like within those 6 years, from the time it started to the time it quote unquote ended,
like 22, 23
like
officially.
I would say like the end. No, I would say like the end of 21 was when life started to come back.
Yeah.
So you're talking this, and then into 22. Into the beginning of 22. So that's 2 years. So technically we're only 4 years removed from it.
Right.
But it's just like, that's not a lot of years. It's even fewer years, 4 compared to 6. But like, I think about what my life was like before, like, BC, before COVID. And since then,
TM that right now.
Yeah, and since then, like, my life is completely different. And I think about the thing, and I mean, it feels sort of the same. This weird off-putting vibe that I get from myself these days is that it's not even that I'm less stressed. It's just that there's less to stress about.
It got me thinking about, as it frequently does, about all the things I'm grateful for. Oh,
I love that.
Because, I remember that time in our lives where, when are things going to open back up again? When is things going to go back to normal? When are we going to stop wearing masks? When are we going to stop worrying about getting sick? When are we going to stop worrying about the vaccines and whether or not these things are going to kill us, or the disease is going to kill us, or if we're going to infect a family member and it's going to kill them, or this, all these fucking things. And then one of the other podcasts I was listening to today, they were talking about how COVID was like the test run for injectables. Like, this is somebody's like quasi-conspiracy theory where they're just like, pre-COVID, everybody's like big thing for weight loss was pills. Just pills. They're trying to advertise pills in commercials. They're force feeding you pills. You want to lose weight, take pills. And then during the COVID years, it was get the vaccine, get everybody used to, accepting injections, and then now like Ozempic and all this other stuff, it's all injectables. Like, take injectables and you'll lose weight.
These things were around before COVID.
I know.
Like,
stop telling me these things were around. I know these things. I'm saying them to illustrate a point.
But this is this fool's conspiracy theory? No offense to this person, but that sounds kind of foolish.
This is going somewhere.
Okay.
You don't have to tell me that things already... I know these things.
My wheels are just turning, that's
okay.
all.
Direct them at the wall.
Go for it. I'm listening. Well, what's the rest of it?
I was talking about gratitude.
Gratitude.
And how grateful I am that my life is not anywhere close to the same as it was in those 2 years of the 4. Well, okay, it's I'm digging a hole here.
Well, dig yourself out.
So I was thinking about how recently, like within the last two.
The last
or so
two,
years,
I was there for those.
I know you were there for the last 4 as well. Is that I am not really involved with a lot of the same people as I was during COVID, before COVID, long before COVID. And I feel like if I was in that same place, that certain people would be telling me how to live, telling me what to do, telling me what they think, my plans for my life should be based on their own interpretation of what they think is best for me.
Are we going to have to interact with these people at your reunion?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I mean, I'm sure one person will be there, but who the fuck cares about him? But I'm not just talking about him.
No,
that's one specific person, one instance that I'm describing. But look at the bands that I left. And I know we've talked about this before, but it's just like I have been struggling for the last few months to make myself okay having several people removed from my life. Okay? Because more than a few, quite a lot of people who were in my life for a very long time are out of it. And I've questioned internally, like, did I make a mistake? Did I go too far? Was I too harsh? Was I protecting myself? Did I absolutely have to get these people out of my life? And I'm thinking to myself now, like, it's not so bad. It's really not so bad, because they weren't doing anything for me. Like, they were more of a succubus than anything else.
Dead weight.
Yeah. Because my biggest complaint about all of these scenarios, the thing that ties them all together, is that their ambitions didn't match mine. I set goals for myself and I set out to achieve them. Their goals did not coincide with, if they had any.
Yeah.
And our goals were not the same. Our interests were not the same. Our desires were not the same. And so while I made a conscious choice to move forward, these people decided to stay stuck in the past.
Yeah.
Which is, a broad way of saying it, but, that's really,
Broadway.
So in the time I've had to reflect since, it's like, I'm very happy to be where I am now. Am I as active in my activities as I was? No. But, it's not a bad thing, because it's a small price to pay for inner peace.
If you so chose to alter your life in a way that would make you busier, quote unquote busier, right? You are no longer hindered with people. You're not bogged down with people who are insisting that you do it one way or another. And I think that is also a sense of inner peace, in a way, is that you are in fact in control of the choices that you make.
I've always been in control.
But you don't have the peanut gallery trying to take that control away from you.
Do you think, in any way, shape, or form, that I previously would thrive on that confrontation or that conflict? Yeah.
Yes. I still do, to an extent.
You don't think I'm, like, seeking out confrontation, do you?
I don't know that you're seeking out confrontation, but you do like being right. I love you. You do like being right.
Well, everybody likes being right.
Yeah, but you when you are determined to be right, you confront with a very yes, but.
I'm not determined to be right. I'm determined to point out when I know that I'm right and I know that somebody else is wrong.
And what is the difference?
The difference is that if somebody's purporting to be right and it's verifiable that they're not,
you must point out that they are wrong.
Well, why not? What's wrong with that?
Why is it necessary, though?
Why is the truth not necessary? Is accuracy not necessary?
If you are aware of the truth, why make sure? Why make,
because if they're
so sure that somebody else knows that they are wrong?
Because if their fallacy affects my life personally, why should I have to stand there and be affected by it?
But does it?
All the time.
How? Give me a sample. A sample size.
A sample size? Mm-hmm. Let's go to Costco. Free stuff for free. Hey, you've been here already.
What is something that you could throw on the table?
Do I need to bitch about work again? I mean, every single day I go in and what do? I do my job and then I go home and I get back on time.
Yeah.
almost without fail now, almost every single Monday, I'm the only one back at the regularly scheduled clocking out time. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just a thing. And everyone always looks at me and like, how do you go so fast? And it's like, I can fucking read.
Yes.
I can read, and I know where things go, and I know how not to get pissed off people to call the office and complain.
It's like, I do this job every fucking day. I know how to do it.
As a matter of fact, at the time of this airing, it will be exactly 8 years to the day.
Congratulations. But let me ask you this.
That handshake was a lot warmer than any other accolade they fucking offered.
But let me ask you this, okay? People coming at you being like, whoa, how do you do it, man? You did that, whether they're complaining or whether they're gobsmacked, okay? You know that you're just doing your job.
I've gotten a lot better at not getting so heated about it because I've been brushing it off because I know how I am, and I know that if it percolates, it will turn into it'll turn into something that it shouldn't, because then I'll lose my cool, and then people will look at me a certain way, and I mean, not that I care how people look at me, but it's just like I don't want those circumstances, those conversations, those anything to persist. I don't.
Okay.
Because I don't want to have to defend how I do my job to other people. It's like, I was saying this to one of the guys behind the desk recently. I'm like, our organization is $15 billion in the hole. That's public knowledge now. Okay.
Yeah.
And we just increased the cost of postage yesterday. Like, that's going to fucking offset it. And I said to him, I'm like, you don't get out of being 15 billion in the hole by continuing to pay out in overtime for greedy fucking people who can't hack it.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah.
There, I said it.
Okay.
Like, my way of thinking is that when the day comes when they start to cut the fat, they're not going to cut the people who are efficient. They're not going to cut the people who save them money. They're going to cut the people who cost them money.
But since you are not one of those people, then why stuff it down people's throats?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, good.
But as you know, I'm a very reactionary person.
You are.
If they come to me first, gloves are off. If
they come to you,
if somebody comes at me out of nowhere and just starts making blanket statements about the way I say or do things, that's different. I don't just go up to people at random and be like, I'm the best employee in here. You suck.
But if they come to you, are they coming to you being like, hey, Andy, do I suck?
No, they're coming at me and criticizing the way I do things.
So you got to ring it right back at them.
No, I have to get them out of my face. Because I don't want to. Look, I know what I'm worth. I know how hard I work. Okay, I know how to do the job efficiently, correctly. Mm-hmm. Okay,
the first time,
the only time. And I've given up on the whole, approaching people when they've fucked up and it's directly affected me. Like people who leave crap in my truck all the time and don't clean it up. People who misdeliver shit. People who fucking, it's one thing after another, after another, after another. I'm like, you know what? It's going to fall on deaf ears anyway. For my own peace of, just let it the fuck go. Just let it the fuck go, because it's gonna happen again. And like I say this to everybody all the time. Eventually, the people who drift through life like lumps of crap are going to cross the wrong person. They're gonna piss off the wrong person, and they're gonna get a lot more hostility from that person than they would from me.
Now, I will say,
and that's not just at work, that's all facets of life.
I will say, to your credit, that you are much less confrontational today than you were even a year ago. I will say
maybe I needed to get some of those people out of my life.
And that is a part of it. I mean, that's
my
just
cholesterol's down, too.
Your cholesterol is down. I don't know what your blood pressure looks like, but, hopefully that's all right. But, like, for example...
It's pressing just fine. I cut it. It comes right out.
When I was merching and I was traveling all the time and everything, I mean, like, people make that their entire person... I'm still talking.
I didn't say a fucking thing.
People make that in their entire personality, and I think that's great, but it wasn't mine. It wasn't mine. So COVID hit, and it was like the stress of... what the fuck do I do now? My livelihood has been taken away from me. And in as much time as it took me to realize that, I realized that I could go back to doing what I want to be doing.
See,
and people asked me, they're just like, don't you miss it? And I'm like, no, I don't miss it at all. And just in saying that, it seems to have alienated enough people into believing that I condescend to that lifestyle. And I'm just like, I don't. It's just not mine.
I didn't understand that about the COVID years. I didn't understand, like, I was lucky. I was fortunate enough to have a job that didn't pause, where I kept going in, like the world revolved around us. Like we kept the world going, you know? Like I'm not one of those guys who, like, you know, we were what was the phrase they always used?
I don't know.
Deemed essential? Was that it?
Oh yeah, I was deemed very non-essential.
Yeah, like I was like, okay, you know, we're a delivery service, and all the other delivery services are kicking into high gear and shit, and it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, it's a job. I go to work, I do my job. Like, okay. But the people who were like, I've lost my livelihood, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. If that were me, I would have found something else. Like, I don't understand that. It's like, okay, you're deemed non-essential. You're told you can't go to work or you can't operate your business or whatever. Find something else. Like,
and most people did. Most people I know.
Most people
I know.
I remember hearing quite a few stories about people who are just like, I'm gonna have to live on unemployment for these 2 years because I can't do what I you know, my skill set or whatever it is. It's just like, find something else. You have to sustain somehow.
Well, I mean, not to be a dick, but I sustained fine on unemployment and freelancing.
Like, one of these people that I've been, you know, alluding to and that I've removed from my life is one of those same people who absolutely refused to work like a regular job or even seek out a regular job. He was so set in his ways for so long on doing what he's still doing to this day, making shit money, working shit hours, barely even making fucking peanuts. And when multiple people went to him and were just like, dude, go fucking stock shelves at a grocery store. Like, it's not glamorous, but it'll give you a steady paycheck. Or even go do what I fucking do. Or go find something, anything to supplement your income so you can fucking, you know, get a place of your own and maybe, you know, achieve some of your goals. This dude was so adamant about not going that route.
Why?
Because he was dead set on living the dream of being the starving artist.
Listen, then starve. I'm reading a book right now about literal starving artists.
But the thing is, never stopped him from mooching off his parents.
Well, see, that's
pathetic.
Shitty. That's shitty.
That's
and pathetic.
pathetic.
Yeah, it's like that's a bridge too far.
And he's still mooching off of his parents,
which is, you know, I think
like,
I think about people of a certain age and just, you know, it's like, please leave your parents
like
alone.
The fact that I'm working with like 20-something-year-olds right now who have absolutely zero desire to branch off on their own, like get it to move out of their parents' house, get their own place, have their independence, have their privacy, have their freedom. Like, I couldn't fucking wait to get my own place, like, you know. Yeah. And that wasn't me wanting to get away from my parents. It's just like, I want to be able to come and go as I please. I don't want to have to check in with anybody. I want to make my own decisions. I want to pay my own way. And, you know, how long has it been now? I'm 38. I moved out when I was 21.
Congratulations. I can still say, though, that, like, I don't even know where I was going to go with that. My headache just came back.
COVID, livelihood.
Yeah, like, that's just it, though, is that, like, when, like, I had plenty of people saying to me, they're just like, just go do something else. And I'm like, I am doing something else. And they're like, well, you can't be making a lot of money. And I'm like, I'm not making a lot of money, but I'm doing something else. And it's just like, and I'm fine with it. And it's just, it got to be one of those things where it's like the same people who were saying, like, oh, just go do something else and everything. It's yes.
Like,
yes, extremely.
Just because you're not making what they're making, or you don't have the same benefits as them, or you don't have the schedule or the lifestyle that they have, it's like, I know what I need to sustain. I know what I want, and I'm getting it.
My priorities, my priorities shifted like a fucking game of Topple. Like, I went from Google it. I seriously, like, you know, pre-COVID, I was overly concerned with, you know, being, you know, these first come, first serve gigs. And, you know, this trying to be a part of this upper echelon that was handed these jobs and everything like that, and just, you know, kissing ass all over the place and working for peanuts And it's just like, and then COVID hit, and it's just like, I didn't have to make that decision anymore. The decision was made. You can't do this anymore. And in the interim, learned so many things about myself, like the fact that I hated that job. Like, truly, that I hated that job.
And it took time away from it to realize that.
Yep. And it gave me the opportunity to focus on my mental well-being as well as my physical well-being. And in doing that, I lost even more people out of my life, because now that, as time went on and jobs started becoming available again, and smaller, things were sort of popping up, and, oh, well, we're just going to take the chance kind of a thing. And I would tell people, I'm not prepared to take that chance. I care about myself too much to throw myself face first back into this snake pit. And people sort of looked at me like I had something on my face. They're just like, I don't understand the words that you're saying. And they're just like, why wouldn't you jump at the opportunity to do this? And I'm like, because I don't like it enough to throw myself in the trash again. That's just the fucking fact.
Like, part of what got me thinking about this was over the weekend, I got my ad is still out there that I put up for, like, musician seeking band, like whatever. And I've kind of just, I haven't given up on it, but I'm like, I'm screening, messages. And one guy was just like, we've been looking for a real solid lead guitar player. We practice here. We got these shows coming up. Maybe you can come check us out. And they have a show coming up with one of the bands that I left. And it's just like, all right, I'll listen to the music when I get home. If I really like it, I'll consider it. Otherwise, I'm really not keen on being anywhere close to these guys, because I just, they sicken me. The sight and the thought of them just sickens me. I'm trying really hard not to say sickening sight, because that was a song in a band that I was in that a video was made for. That's one of our many puns.
I have said countless times, and I still hold to it, that, I would rather be alone than around bad people.
Well, like I've told you many times, my grandfather would always say, and my mother would remind me of this, better to be alone than in bad company.
Exactly.
And he's right. Because I liken this to the thought that, my 20-year high school reunion's been in the works now for at least a year, I would say. And, for the past year, I've been on the fence, like, do I go? Do I not go?
I've been asking you. I'm like, are we doing this?
The truth is, I want to be there. I really do. I want to see people that I haven't seen since graduation, that I don't talk to all the time, that I don't run into, that, because they don't live here or we don't live, there or anything like that. Even just an excuse for us to go out on a Friday night and go to that fucking brewery because the food was good and, beer wasn't bad either. But it's just like, it would be nice to see some people that I didn't really get to spend a lot of time with at the 10-year, because that day we were doing a fundraiser. So I swung by for half an hour, and then, I could have stayed longer because like I didn't have to be at the fundraiser all day long. Yeah. But I was just like, these are people I barely talk to in school, and these are people I see all the time.
Yeah.
And we're doing this for a good cause. I'd rather be over here, and I'll see these guys at the 20, like, Because like my whole thought process was like, if me and these people I went to school with were such good friends, we'd maintain relationships, beyond the reunions. Yeah. And the reality is, like, there's a very, very small number of people from school that I still even talk to, let alone, see.
Yeah.
Many of which weren't even in my class, But I am looking forward to this. But what I was dreading was running into one of these people that I removed from my life because, they were pissing me off. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't want to fucking see him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to look at him. I don't want him to bring up why we stopped talking. Like, if he comes at me...
I don't think he has the balls to do that.
If he comes at me with an apology, that's a different story. But like, because again, my door is always open. But it's that whole just like, I don't even want to subject myself to any of these people because I removed them all for a reason.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't hinder me from living my life.
I hold firm on the idea that living well is the best revenge. And to me, living well is attaining that inner peace. Is being so peaceful in your own mind that their very presence doesn't even affect you.
See, I'm not even thinking about vengeance at this point. I just want to be at peace with myself.
Well, I wasn't suggesting vengeance.
Don't say it like that. You make it sound like I'm going to slash your tires. It's a word.
I know. I'm imagining.
Well, no, because there was a period where I was hurting and I wanted retribution. I'm like, you need to know how awful I feel because of what you said and what you did, and you should feel bad and you should apologize. But no one's ever going to do that because they're all too full of themselves. So let them live in misery because I know that to some degree they are. Yeah. And I'll move on with my life.
Like I thought about, like if my high school actually bothered to have like an actual reunion that people went to, like a few people from like the class were like, oh, let's get a big dinner together. And I think like a dozen people went.
Like, no, go ahead.
But like, I think about it like, would I go? Yeah, sure. Why not? I don't know why. Like, I don't feel like very many people that I went to high school with, that I was really tight with in high school and continue to be friends with throughout college, but then lost touch with over time. I feel like I could probably count on less than one hand how many ended badly, quote unquote. It just faded out, kind of a thing. Just, fade to black, roll credits kind of a thing. Friendship over. But like, I don't know if being in a room with those people would be like, oh my God, like, how are you? What has your life been like? Let's catch up, kind of a thing. And then maybe again at the end of the evening, fade to black, roll credits. Like, I don't know that I'm ever going to see these people again. So it's like,
this is an opportunity to look at it through a different lens because it's been so many years.
Yeah.
And we're all different people. Even though, hopefully, but again, like I was going to say, like, I still know people who are so set on living in the past. Like, not only do they still talk about high school like we're still in it, but they still creep on people's fucking social media pages. Be like, oh, did you see this person got married and this person got divorced and this person had kids and blah, 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 and this and the other thing. And it's like, I don't fucking care. Like, if I don't see or talk to these people on a regular basis, why would I care about what they're fucking doing?
Yeah, like, who cares?
Like so-and-so said this and so-and-so did that. Like,
such and such got fat.
Yeah. And it's, it is an opportunity.
Yeah.
To see how we've grown, to see maybe, I'll have more things in common with some of these people I haven't seen in 20 years now that we're older and we have careers and homes and kids, at least maybe most of us, it's like, maybe this is something that I need. Maybe I need to reconnect with somebody I haven't talked. And
maybe
this will take a weight off your shoulders. There is not a single one of my exes in my graduating class.
Good.
So we will not run into.
Well, I mean, unless any of them end up there with people you went to school with. I mean, you and your classmates, or at least your friend group, seem to have traded, significant others every once in a while.
Well, that's because they really have, they don't know how to think outside the box. Literally and figuratively. I can just see that being the fucking the teaser for this one.
It is now.
No, I just by luck of the draw, I never dated anybody in my own age group.
Neither did I. So you'll never see if I ever have a reunion, you'll never see any.
Because every girl in my class always went for older guys, and every guy in my class went for younger girls.
I like to keep a wide spread. I just cast my net and reeled in what I caught.
That's how I got here.
No, I picked you very selectively.
Out of a lineup.
I picked you very selectively.
You didn't pick me.
Sure I did. I was a part of your spread. And you cast your net and I swam right in.
I didn't cast a net. My net was in. My net was in for the winter.
Mm-hmm. The boat was already cling wrapped.
Sharks in the boat. Our
but
shark.
I don't. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like
this episode's really like
there's not a lot to be stressing over. There are things to stress.
I was gonna say that should be the theme of this episode.
Yeah,
is stress
but like
management.
that's just it. Is that like there are things to stress. There are things that need attention. There are things that are time sensitive and everything. But I
you
feel
make it sound
like
a day at work. Gotta get this.
Life is like that's just it.
I meant
like,
you make it sound like this piece of mail needs to get here by this time.
But it's like I am of the mindset of why bother right now.
Like honestly. I've told a lot of people, it's like I'm enjoying not being in a band at the moment. I really am, because I have no schedule and I have no demands and I have no expectations to be at places at times and to stick around until the end and help with load in and load out and frankly to deal with people who are piss poor performers.
But how does that battle against your degree of boredom?
I'm finding other things to occupy myself with.
Are you okay with that?
For now.
For now.
I'm coming to the realization that like I am getting older, I don't move around like I used to. And the main thing is I just don't have the desire to keep playing the same places and to the same crowds. It's like I don't want to keep playing dives to dirty drunk people. It's true. I've done so much of that over the last, how long has it been now? 12 years?
Dirty
longer
drunk
than that.
People.
Longer than that.
Oh
I have
my
been
God.
I mean, if you really want to get technical about it, I've been doing that since 2009. Yeah. So that's 17 years now. And I've played all of the same places so many times over to the same people who who frequent these places just to get hammered and to close down the bar. And it's like, if they're not paying attention to what I'm doing, if they're not paying attention to the music, if they're not getting into the music, then we're doing it wrong.
Yes.
Like if I'm going to be in a band, I want to be in a band with people who actually fucking practice, who make sure that they're going to make as few mistakes as possible, if any at all, and who are going to be, into playing stuff that people actually come to hear. Like if I'm not, like I went for an audition last week and, I got to hang out with somebody. We had a good time. We played some top 40 stuff and chit-chatted about gear and whatnot. And it was great. And I'm like, you know what? If you go with somebody else, no harm, no foul. Like I had a good time.
Let me ask you something though.
What?
Okay? To bring it back to what I said about boredom. Okay?
Well, that was...
I know,
that's how I stave off boredom.
But, okay? You started this conversation talking about reading.
Yes.
Are you reading to kill time, or are you actually enjoying what you're doing? Truth.
It's a mix of both, okay? The stuff that I'm already familiar with, that's just to kill time. Like the portions of the manga that are mirroring what I've already seen on television, that's just, killing the half hour, 45 minutes until I clock out every day, because that's the only time I pull out the book. Okay. When I get to the portions that were not adapted for television, so that I'm actually reading and seeing this part of the story for the first time, that's exciting because it's fresh. That's true.
So your whatever sparked you, the catalyst that really said, "Hey, read this whole series, start to finish, do it."
Something I haven't done before.
But is it simply to replace? Is it something you're enjoying doing, or is it simply to replace being in a band?
I don't think I would do it if I wasn't enjoying it. Like I don't generally tend to do things I don't enjoy unless I'm doing something for somebody else with the intent of making that sacrifice.
What else? I mean, like what else? What else is filling that? I don't want to call it a void.
Like when I take Henry to the arcade, I'm not swiping the card so that I can play games while he's in the VR thing. Like I'm there so he can have a good time. When we go on vacation, it's mostly going to be so that he can enjoy what I've already enjoyed as a child. Mm-hmm. So and that comes with being a parent. Like yesterday, we went to the range. I always try to insist that he take up more of the time than I do, because again, I've done this all already. Like I can do this anytime I want. I'm like, you want to take a turn? He's like, actually, I want you to go first. I'm like, you really want me to go? Okay, fine, I'll go first. And I went first. And then I'm like, you want to take a turn? Yeah, I'll take a turn. And periodically I'm like, you want it? No, you keep doing it. And it's really weird because if I were in his shoes saying this to my dad, I'd be like, let me at it, let me at it, let me at it.
Do you think he's bored?
I think it's something he's not, like the things that I suggest for us to do, unless it's like the arcade or something, I don't think he's really into. I think he's just doing it to satisfy me. You know, which I had a hard time with as a kid because I wanted to do things I wanted to do, and I knew my dad didn't.
Yeah.
You know, but again, in order to spend time with him, I just succumb to, you know, okay, whatever he wants to do, we'll just do. And then that way I'm not doing stuff alone.
Mm.
You know, but you've been present for this. Like, we've repeatedly had to say to him, like, listen, you can ask for things. Like, it's all right. Like, how often do we say no to you? Like, you know, usually the answer, if you ask for something that we say, no, it's not no, it's just not right now, maybe later.
Yeah.
And then usually he gets it anyway. You know, this was another thing I was thinking about this week. I'm in a point in life where I don't need to do so much for myself. I don't need to take time for myself. I don't need to spend money on myself or, you know, plan activity. It's like I feel like I need to be there more for other people now. Like Henry, like you, like the animals, like whoever. Because you know, I don't lie when I say I've achieved all my goals, because I listen to a lot of podcasts where they talk about goal-oriented people and being goal-oriented and what you need to do to achieve, you know, personal happiness and excellence and in your life and be, you know, comfortable in your own skin. And, you know, I'd be lying if I said I didn't achieve these things, because I set the goals, no matter how big or how small. I set them and I work towards them. Mm-hmm. And I'm still setting goals, you know, but they're not the same goals I was setting 10, 12 years ago. They're not even the same goals I was setting 10, 12 minutes ago. Like, you know what I mean? I should be complaining a lot less, because the gratitude in me wants to say, you know, yes, I'm thankful for everything that I have and everything that I've accomplished. But in order to stave off boredom and, you know, dissatisfaction.
Yes.
Yeah. I need to stay active and I need to stay busy. And like I said, like I'm now in a position where I can be there more for other people. Because you know, again, like if I need to do something for myself, that's easy. If I need to take care of myself, if I need to take a day for myself or plan something out for myself, you know, I more so feel like I need to be available to people who are not able to be there for themselves as much as me. And I think that's something that more people should reflect upon, because, you know, we've talked on this podcast about the selfishness of people quite a bit. And I feel like we're living in that age where, you know, more and more people don't just think it's okay to be selfish, but they demand it.
And they encourage it.
And they encourage it, and they demand that other people be okay with one's own selfishness. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to accept me and accepting me for who I am. That means being okay with me doing things for myself, no matter how it affects other people.
And I think even worse than that is the encouragement of it, is encouraging other people, you know, that like, this is how you should be. You should not be, you know, don't worry about other people. Focus on yourself. And it's like, I'm the first to advocate for self-care and everything, but like that does not quantify as selfishness.
I'm no stranger to being told how to live my life. Mm-hmm. I was told by my parents. I was told by these people that I've removed from my life who used to be friends, you know. And like I said, I set the goals that I set out to achieve, and then I achieved them. I don't want to aspire to what other people did or want. Like, I don't want the job that my dad had. I don't want the house that this person, you know, I know has. I don't want, you know, like to go to the casino every fucking week like he does and blow all my money. Like, I know what I want, and I can very easily get what I want, because they don't equate. Mm-hmm. Like, am I living within my means? Yes. But it's a much, much smaller degree than this grand scale that everyone believes that you should aspire to.
Yeah.
It's like I don't, if I were on that side of things, we would be in a much bigger house, and as you pointed out, that's more to clean.
Yeah. Every time you point out a big house, I'm like, who's gonna clean that house?
You're always telling me to reframe things. If I'm thinking negatively about something, reframe it. Look at it this way instead. Instead of complaining that this is the way it is, be thankful that this thing over here is happening the way it is.
Yes.
And so that hasn't fallen on deaf ears because I'm constantly thinking about that.
That makes me happy.
Yes, there are things out there that are going to anger me all the time, but it's that passes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's safe to say I don't talk about work at home as much as I used to.
I'm going to say you're right.
Like, I don't go on. I don't, just, drag on and on and on about it. Like, it goes on for the few minutes I'm home for break, and then maybe a little bit when I get home from the office. And then after that, it's on to cartoons and dinner and coffee in the morning and the dogs and what... The dogs.
One of them is a cat.
The dogs. Because
that's that gratitude.
I don't see a reason to let myself get frustrated as much, and maybe keeping those people in my life was a means of reminding myself about getting frustrated, and now removing them. It's like, okay, well, if I don't have to think about them, I don't have to think about how they frustrate me.
Exactly.
Just like when you remove those negative stimuli, it's like if you're not thinking about it, you're not going to think about how it affects you.
That's why I'm always, it's like, it's not my place. It's not my business, even as your wife, to tell you, stop reading those things. Stop listening to those things. Stop interacting with these threads and everything like that. But it's like, you're going to do it whether I say not to or not. So it's like, for me, for my peace of mind, it's a let him situation.
I do a lot of swiping now.
Let him do it. Let him get it out of his system, because then it's gone.
Like, I can't tell you how many mornings I open up Facebook and the very first thing on my feed is somebody in big bold letters saying "fuck Trump." Now, it doesn't matter who's a Trump supporter or not.
Yeah.
It's like, that is rooted in hate. That statement is just rooted in hate, and I don't want to wake up first thing in the morning thinking about hate. It doesn't matter. Like, it could say fuck Bin Laden. It could say fuck Hitler. It could say fuck anybody. It's like, I don't want to see that first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
I'd much rather say, you know what? It's a beautiful day. It's not going to be that hot. The weather's nice. This is going on or whatever. But it's like, people are not so as focused on positivity as they are negativity. They're just not.
No, they're not.
Because misery loves company. And once one person, like, everybody goes through this. When one person in a conversation starts complaining about something that has happened to them that day, that week, whatever, that other person or other people in the group are just waiting for their turn to be like, well, this happened to me. Let me tell you about it.
Yes, because everything is a competition, especially misery. Misery is the biggest competition. Friends of mine and I got together yesterday for a quote-unquote baby shower, which we threw.
You talk about the little pink van.
We talked about all kinds of.
No, I'm saying, are you going
to
do it now?
I bought the baby the smallest little pink Vans shoes you've ever seen. It was precious. She said that the first shoes she got were little tiny Timberland boots too, and I'm just like, and I was like, what is our obsession with small things? They're all just so cute. But it's like, we went for wings. Literally. We had pink.
Ladies, thank you for my wings.
Pink, yes. We had pink flowers and pink this and pink that and everything. And we had gifts and cupcakes and everything. But we went for fucking wings. Okay? And this was the baby shower. And we spent a good amount of time talking about how much better life has become since we shed
your job,
the weight of working together. Because looking back, the only thing that we really loved about that. No, the only thing that we loved about working together was having each other. And it's like, since we still have each other, fuck the job.
But do you still talk about the job?
Yeah. We still want all the hot goss and everything from the one person who stayed behind to get it all for us and everything. But like, we still talk about it because we talk about how much better things are now. our mental well-being is all better. Our physical well-being is all better. We have, happy lives now. We have better schedules. We have, time for our own personal needs and our families and everything. And it's like, I think back to what it was like at the beginning of COVID, and the difference is that I shed that job, but I lost those people, because those people.
This is the job before the one you're talking about
Yes.
now. For anyone listening.
Those people did not, they could not comprehend the idea of a life without the job. Those people did not exist in my life without the job. Ergo, they weren't my friends, and they weren't there for me. They wouldn't stand up for my well-being. And it is the one time in my life where I experienced the most loss without actually losing anything. I have thought long and hard a lot of the times about the people that I was so close to in high school and in college and even in grad school and everything. And the fact that none of them are in my life anymore. And it's just like, I've thought, like, damn, that really sucks, but like, we grew apart and we didn't bother trying to grow back, and it sucks because it felt like a dig, it felt like I wasn't worth their time. When I lost all of these merching friends at the beginning of COVID, it didn't feel like I lost anything. And that's a hot take from me right here. But like, that, it's the fucking truth, is I don't feel like I lost anything. Losing this job doesn't feel like I lost anything, because I kept the things of it that were the most important to me, which is these 3 people. And I'm just
this is
like,
now the later job.
Yes. And that's where my gratitude is that I can reframe all of this loss into, I am now able to not only prioritize myself, but the people I actually care about. And I have the mental stamina to do that. I have the emotional well-being to pass it on. And that makes me feel good.
You came with me to this gathering of my coworkers a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, I did.
And it was another one of those situations I was dreading, because I'm just like, there's certain people I'm probably not going to want to see or talk to because of how we interact at work.
All you guys did was talk about work, too.
Not all, but we did a fair amount.
So wild.
And as soon as it started, I'm just like, the one time we see each other outside the office, are we really going to talk about the office?
I'm like, you're all talking about work.
That was until wiffle ball started, And, after it was all said and done, I couldn't help but, be like, we all needed that.
Yeah.
Because we all looked at each other differently afterwards, because it's like, we need this more. To get together and eat food and drink beer and play games and talk about, whether it's work or not, but just sit there and just be able to talk out of uniform, out of that building,
as real people,
I look at some of my coworkers now and think, I get along better with some of these people than, people that I was put together with by circumstance, more so than people I chose to be around in the form of bandmates who were originally, childhood friends who ended up shitting on me.
Yep.
I can still, what I was going to say earlier, I can still remember, I think at some point in high school, I was out with one of my brothers, and he had said to me, fuck the people in high school. The friends in college are the ones that you're going to keep for life. The friends in let me finish. This is what he said. The friends you make in college are the ones that are going to stick by you for life. They're going to be friends forever. And I remember thinking about that statement all throughout college. And for years after it, because a lot of people I met in college, I did stay close to. Mm-hmm. And very few of them I still do, but a lot, most of them, they wound up like the people from high school, because you were brought together by circumstance, and your true friends, no matter how frequent or infrequently you talk to, are still always going to be there and still going to pop up from time to time. And then the ones who really don't mean any, shit whatsoever are the ones who you don't hear from. Yeah. And if you try and contact, maybe another time, or, I'm busy. And it's like, well, then fuck
busy
you.
Doing what?
Taking a bath.
It all comes down to me. It all comes down to it all comes down to gratitude. It's true. The reframing, the substitution of, why does everything have to be so difficult with maybe it is, but the yes, but, like you just, why bother being pissed off about the things that upset you? They upset you. Okay.
See, I can
period. End of meeting.
I can think back to times in my life where I wasn't as frustrated. You know, I didn't so much notice the people out on the road that don't fucking use their turn signals. I didn't so much notice the people whose shortcomings at work affected me directly. I just didn't think about these things. And then as time
I came along.
Yeah, and then you pointed it all out to me. No.
No, I didn't.
But the world changed. The world really did change.
The world did change.
We accepted complacency. We accepted laziness. We made excuses for all of it. And now it's a hole we're desperate. Some of us are desperately trying to dig ourselves out of, all the while, trying to cope with the fact that some people just don't give a fuck. Like right before we started recording, a guy I went to college with said, "Did you hear about so-and-so?" And I'm like, "You're going to have to be more specific. That name rings a bell, but like, I don't really remember." This guy that we had classes with, either today or yesterday, him and his passenger got hit head on their motorcycle by a drunk driver and killed, both of them.
Jeez.
And I'm like, that is really shitty. And it's just another one of those instances where I'm like, if more people gave a shit about the rules,
Hi, Mama. We're being spied on.
She heard us talking about the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, she's spying on us.
And under old circumstances, I would stew on that. I would think about this, this passing of this. I mean, even though I wasn't close with this person, but it's like, that's not fair. That's not fair to him. It's not fair to his family. It's not fair to the passenger or their family. It's not fair that that it happened at all. Now, what's going to come of it? Who knows? But it's like, it speaks to the selfishness we were talking about earlier, because it's just like, I would never allow myself in a situation like that to compromise somebody's safety. Why would anybody else? It's like more and more people, my personal opinion, more people should take stock of what's important. And I'll end on this. You don't have to inconvenience or compromise someone else to take care of yourself.
The same way you don't have to tear someone down to build yourself up.
We've
done so much high-fiving in this episode. I love it.
Good talk.
This was a good talk. This was. Thank you out there in podcast land for tuning in again and giving us your ears for a little while. Find us on Instagram, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's. She's just half on the stairs right now.
She's looking at us through bars.
She's like,
she's in dog jail.
She's like, can you guys go to the couch now so we can all lie down? She wants the pile. She's a pack animal and she wants the pile right now. But yes, thank you. Find us on Instagram, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's.
A little faster.
You can find us individually, downtown_Andy and Jess Starable on Instagram. You can also email us, dtandyandjjstar@gmail.com with questions, comments, concerns for our well-being, conversation starters and enders, and let us know if you want to be a part of the conversation. Download Podbean and give us a like and a follow, because that's how we make money and we appreciate every dollar. Similarly, find me on OnlyFans, because that's where you can see the rest of it. JJ Star on OnlyFans. You can find Love Hard Art and Coat of Arms Tattoo on Instagram. Love Hard Art will be at the Westchester Tattoo Con October 2nd through 4th this year. And
I'll be there too.
And Coat of Arms Tattoo has their 2-year anniversary celebration this Saturday, July 18th.
Wow, that cracked up.
Yeah. You can come with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to work, but after's fine.
We'll go after. We probably won't make it in time for the food, but we'll be there in time for the music. Well, then leave early. You skip out early.
Okay, fine. Yeah, because I'd rather have food than music.
Yeah, because they're gonna have the smash burger truck.
You can't put music in your belly. You just can't.
No, you can't. So yes, 11 to 7 at Coat of Arms Tattoo in Bethel, Connecticut. Be there, be square.
I just realized I'm not wearing pants.
Neither am I. That deserves a high five too. What else? You got anything going on?
No.
What about Twitch?
No.
What about Twitch?
I deleted it.
Oh, all right. Well, then never mind.
Because I figured we weren't getting any viewers, and I figure if we want to,
you gave it like a week.
Listen, to piggyback off of one of the previous episodes where I'm just like, all these fucking platforms, they all do the same thing, blah, 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 blah. We could live stream on Instagram. We could live stream on Facebook. We don't need a third platform to fucking live stream.
We could do it on OnlyFans naked.
And the better thing is that we have followers on all of those other platforms.
We do.
So people we know are going to tune in.
Preach.
Versus strangers on Twitchland where it's fuck it.
Well, then forget I said
Downtown
anything about that.
Andy.
But yes.
On all fucking platforms.
So yes, thank you again, and
keep an eye out for the vids.
I think that's it. I think that's it for today.
Send nudes, send tips.
No, do not send nudes. Ever.
I just wanted to say that.
Don't do that ever.
Do it.
No, don't do it. You can send them to him. Don't send them to me. Thank you. And on that note, we're going to call it a full lid.
Lemon Party's just going to show up in my inbox.
From the four of us here, whatever that was. From the four of us here at That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
We'll talk to you later.